As you know, I'm Dan Tippie. I'm the president of Redmond Kiwanis, and we're very happy today to have speakers here from the heart of Oregon. We have Kara Johnson and Amanda Jameson. So please, a round of applause for Heart of Oregon.
Great. I'm Kara Johnson. I'm the program director for our Youth Build program, which is now based out of Sisters, but ran out of, I think, 4 years out of Redmond, and we just recently moved. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about all of our programs at Heart of Oregon. And so I have a handout that Amanda's passing around. And so basically, what is Heart of Oregon? Heart of Oregon Corps, our mission is to improve economic and social vitality while increasing pathways out of poverty for young adults. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys that verbatim. So basically, Heart of Oregon Corps, we employ not only staff to work with the young people, but we also employ young people by paying them minimum wage or stipend to be in our programs. So overall, every year, Heart of Oregon Corps probably into the economy of Central Oregon puts in over $1 million. That doesn't even count what we're spending through our grants that we receive through the federal, through Department of Labor, through our AmeriCorps grants, etc., for the spending purposes too. So our mission is to empower, improve, and inspire positive change in the lives of young people through jobs, education, and stewardship. So the history: in 2000, 3 community members, Denny Maloney, who was through Deschutes County Juvenile Justice, Dan Saraceno, who's a counselor out at Sisters High School and is still out at Sisters High School as a counselor, and Dave Holmes, who also worked for Deschutes County Juvenile Justice, found that there was a need in Central Oregon for disadvantaged youth to basically, who were part of probation and parole, to give back to the community. So that restorative justice concept. And that's how Heart of Oregon started. It started with 1 crew of young people, and it was just about 6 young people. Since then, 15 years later, we now have 4 programs that are year-round and 1 summer program, and we'll go into those more as we progress. And like I said, we're infusing over $1 million in wages and stipend into the community. And the rankings just came out for all of nonprofits here in Central Oregon, and I think Heart of Oregon Corps is now the 9th largest nonprofit in Central Oregon through 15 years. So there's the programs. We start with basically all the programs. We're a nonprofit based in Central Oregon, which provides job skills training to our youth, education, leadership, and leadership development. So we serve young people ages 16 to 24 in all of our programs. And the crews are based in their towns. It's based in their own communities. Or we have jobs. If it's not based in their community, we have our job sites that are based in their communities. So what we do is we do projects like fire field reduction. We work with BLM. We work with the Forest Service. We also work with Parks and Rec. Ben Parks and Rec is one of the newest partners that's come on board. We also build affordable homes. And a lot of our homes are built right here in Redmond through our Youth Build program. I believe in our construction over the since 2009, since Youth Build was brought into Central Oregon under Heart of Oregon Corps, we have built 13 homes. And right now, we are currently building a home right here in Redmond through Habitat, Redmond Habitat. And that home is almost completed, and that's for the Miller family. And we're going to be starting a 2nd home right next door. And that will be having that wall raising in the next 2 months. On top of that, in Madras, we're going to start building in Madras with Housing Works. And we're going to be building 5 homes up there, a complete subdivision that our young people are going to be building. Also and we do trail building, our summer program. COYCC, Central Oregon Youth Conservation Corps, does a lot of trail building. Our AmeriCorps program also does too. Through labor-intensive service, they earn wages, they earn stipends, and they earn college scholarships. All of our programs are AmeriCorps based. So most of our young people are eligible for that AmeriCorps Education Award, which is a scholarship that they can use over 7 years to go to any tech school, any college that accepts financial aid. Also we're working, I would say probably more than half of our young people have dropped out of high school. So they're working on their GED. They're working on doing credit recovery. They're working on their high school diplomas. And that's part of our education component of 2 of our programs that we have. And also too, our young people are starting post-secondary education in our programs. We actually contract classes through COCC. We have 2 instructors that are COCC instructors that are part of our Youth Build and AmeriCorps programs that actually teach for us and instruct at COCC. Also too, our sustainable model is centered on contracted fee-for-service projects. So young people receive job training, plus they also help raise the revenue for Heart of Oregon Corps, which pays their wages and their stipends. So affiliations, we are affiliated with AmeriCorps, like I was telling you about. We're also the 21st Century Conservation Service Corps, the Corps Network, and Youth Build USA for our programs. So we're on a national level also. Also regionally, we're participating members of the Children's Forest of Central Oregon, United Way, the Oregon Youth Conservation Corps, the Homeless Leadership Coalition, and Better Together. We're members of the Oregon Nonprofit Association, Central Oregon Builders Association, Jefferson County, Redmond, and Bend's Chambers of Commerce also. So the first program I'd like to talk to you guys about is our Youth Build program. And that's the program that I'm the program director of. So it's near and dear to my heart. It's a national youth and community development program that addresses core issues facing the communities, which are education, affordable housing, and basically employment, crime prevention, and leadership development. In Youth Build, they work towards their GED because most of our young people, 75% of our young people have dropped out of high school. So we're taking those most hardest to serve young people in Central Oregon and bringing them back, giving them job skills, helping them with their education, getting their GED, working towards their high school diploma. Also too, they're also working on college credits. I have 16-year-olds in my program that never thought they would ever go to college, and they're doing it at 16 years old. They're also learning job skills. They're serving their community by building the affordable housing, and they're transforming their lives and roles within the community and society. So who are Youth Build trainees? They're 16 to 24-year-olds right here in our community. We pull from all 3 counties for our Youth Build program: Deschutes County, Jefferson County, Crook County. I have a young man who came from the Warm Springs reservations on a daily basis, traveled 120 miles round trip, and his attendance was 92%. It's pretty amazing. Also too, they're interested in working towards their diploma or GED, like I was telling you about. They're willing to try new things. They're willing to meet new people because, you know, it's not only academics, it's also social for them. We're basically, a lot of our young people have been involved in the juvenile justice system or the adult justice system. And so it's their opportunity to start giving back to their community and making a difference rather than pulling away from the community. They're also willing to set goals for their future and challenge themselves while in their program. So the model for Youth Build, we do 40% construction, 50% education, 10% leadership development. Part of the leadership development is service to our community. Not only are we building the affordable housing, but also too, we're doing service projects throughout the community. The Becky Johnson Clinic here in Redmond, not this last summer, the summer before, it got a facelift. It got painted. We were able to, our Youth Build crew was able to partner with Webfoot Painting, and Webfoot Painting actually came in and mentored our young people, and we were able to paint that entire building, that Becky Johnson Clinic, it's huge, in 2 weeks with the help of Webfoot Painting. So it was a fabulous opportunity, and what came out of that opportunity for our young people is Webfoot Painting then called us this last summer and said, hey, we're looking for employees. Do you have anybody you can recommend? And sure enough, 2 of our young people were hired on the spot through their interview process and are still working there full time today. So great opportunities that we're creating for our young people. It's a 9 to 12 months and program of active programming that the young people are working on their education, working on their construction skills, with another year of follow-up services. So they're not done with Youth Build within 1 year. We're then helping the young people with their transition into employment, into post-secondary education. They're setting goals with their advocates that are part of our program. So that's Youth Build. Our AmeriCorps program, it's based out of Bend. And that's the program that we do fire field reduction work. We do trail building. We partner with the Forest Service. We partner with BLM, Bend Parks and Rec. Those projects that you see the Heart of Oregon Corps vans, they're pulled up to, like, I think we've been at Eagle Crest quite often. They're doing that cleanup work and that reduction work. Those are our crews. And so basically that crew, the 17 to 24-year-olds, same thing. They're looking to make a change in their life. They're looking for their education. They're looking for going on to post-secondary, going on to college and taking a college class while they're in that program. They also earn a living stipend, so they're getting paid to do that work. And we support them in the same way as we do Youth Build, and we provide that after they complete the program, we then provide them the assistance and the support they need to transition into employment, into full-time post-secondary education, or a combination of the two. Matter of fact, we've had young people who have completed the AmeriCorps program. We've had 2 young men who have done this, who have come, and basically, a few years ago, we were under a grant called the CJC grant. And basically that grant was, our eligibility requirements for that AmeriCorps crew was that they had to be involved in the criminal justice system. Had to be. And we had 2 young men who were. And both of those young men, now, they completed the AmeriCorps program. They both took some college classes while they were in there. They did other Heart of Oregon programs on top of that, and now are full-time employees here at Heart of Oregon. So that's our goal. Our goal is to help our young people, bring them on as employees. That's our AmeriCorps program. Our next program is our stewardship program. Our stewardship program is the very first program that started Heart of Oregon Corps. And stewardship, we do private contracts with stewardship. Age range is still the same, 16 to 20 years old, 21. It's a little bit different. But we do private contracts with Deschutes County Solid Waste, with Eagle Crest, with Tethro, all those private contracts that we put out to bid, and our young people actually do those contracts. They are paid minimum wage for their jobs. They also have a smaller portion of education. So they're going to school, to the education piece, about 12 hours per week. The rest is all job training for those young people. We use that program to either transition our young people into our Youth Build program or our AmeriCorps program, so they're waiting to get into those programs, or we use that as an employment option when they're completed the program, because some young people just aren't ready to go out into the real world and they need another option, like a transition option, until they're ready to make that commitment to full employment or to full post-secondary education. So we use that program both ways. So I'd like to tell you about Felipe. Felipe was a young man here in Redmond who started out the Youth Build program, and he came to me through Youth Build and was like, hey, his mom actually brought him. Mom was like, I heard about your program, this is fabulous. Felipe was, you know, downward smile, didn't want anything to do with it. And he actually was accepted into Youth Build and started Youth Build. And his attitude started to change. He became more positive. He was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Basically, Felipe was dabbling with drugs, which caused him to have 1 foot out of the door of high school and 1 foot in. You know, he was skipping school a lot. Mom was like extremely worried that he was just gonna completely drop out. Well, Felipe, his attendance in Youth Build, he missed 1 day the entire time, 9 months he was in the program. And he was really legitimately sick. Felipe then was like, you know what, I'm not ready to transition. He got his GED while he was in the program, but he wanted to finish his high school diploma. He was able to gain more credits to get back on track. He then transferred to our stewardship program, got his high school diploma while in stewardship, and graduated on time. Mom never even thought that would happen. Graduated on time, walked with his class. What happened is Felipe, during that time that he was trying to figure out what he wanted to do before Youth Build and stewardship, on his application he wrote, I want to apply for stewardship and stay with the Heart of Oregon Corps because you guys hold me accountable. You hold me accountable and I do not want to use drugs anymore. I'm done and this will hold me accountable. Well, Felipe is now, we were able to give a great reference for him to Geldwin, and Felipe has a full-time job at Geldwin and is absolutely loving it, moved to Bend, and is living on his own and being extremely successful. And that's just one of the stories of our young people that we have. So we also have we have a thrift store too. Our thrift store is up in Madras. If you're driving downtown Madras and you're going north, you probably maybe have seen the Heart of Oregon sign. That's our thrift store. We took that thrift store over 2 years ago, and the renovation of that thrift store was done by our Youth Build young people. So basically they came in, wiped it clean, built walls, did the whole 9 yards, did the exterior finish of the building, And that thrift store is actually owned by Heart of Oregon Corps. So, and what that thrift store does is it provides opportunities for Madras young people who are in the youth transition program, 18 to 21 years old. Those young people all have some kind of disability. And what that provides them is an opportunity to come in and receive retail experience. And they work there. Anywhere from 2 hours a week for some of our young people who have severe disabilities to young people who work 15 to 20 hours per week in there. And I believe they get also paid a very small stipend to do that work. So if you're in Madras, stop by our thrift store, go shopping, check it out. We also then have our summer program called Central Oregon Youth Conservation Corps. Central Oregon Youth Conservation Corps, we partner with the Forest Service on that program, and that's an employment program. It's a summer employment program that we have crews from Warm Springs. We have crews this year in Warm Springs, which we're super excited about. Redmond, Madras, Prineville, Sisters, Gilcrest, Crescent, Lapine, Bend. And so we span all of Central Oregon. That provides 8 weeks of employment, paid minimum wage for young people across Central Oregon. The only requirements for that program is they have to be 16 to 18 years old, and we are accepting applications, I believe, in February, March for that program. It's a lottery system. We hire about 100 between, I think in our slim years, we've hired about 65 young people, all the way to, I think at times we've been able to hire 150 young people for the summer crew. They do trail building. They work side by side with Forest Service crews to clean up areas. I think we've done a lot of removal of fencing. It's the land stewardship projects that the Forest Service has us do that they don't have the crews to do at the time. So that's a great opportunity for employment for all of our young people. That program also has an opportunity for young people to earn an AmeriCorps Education Award, a scholarship of about $1,200 once they complete the program. Also too, some volunteer opportunities that we have for people in the community. So our Youth Build program, we are located, like I said, out in Sisters. We're located between Sisters and Redmond. We are looking for tutors to come in and help our young people because they come in very, very low skills in math, reading, writing. So we're looking for tutors to come help with that. We're also looking for mentors. We have a mentoring component within our Youth Build program. It's a 15-month commitment, and Amanda is handing out some information about the mentor opportunity. It's a 15-month commitment with 3 months of group mentoring, doing service projects with our young people, doing group mentoring events. Like I think a group mentoring event we did one time was we took the young people bowling. Like we have MLK Day of Service coming up on Monday. We've invited all of our mentors to join us on that service project. But also too, that mentoring happens right in our community. Whether it be at our building, physically at our building, or we do the one-on-one matches outside of the program. So mentors are meeting with our young people, and it's kind of like the Big Brothers, Big Sisters model, where you're having the community mentoring also. We also are looking for guest speakers. So we have Leadership Wednesdays for our Youth Build program, and we are looking for people who have had experience in the community, maybe, employers who can come in and share information about employment opportunities, or even come in and tell their story about, hey, this is where I've been and this is where I've come and this is how I did that. Because it tells young people, it's like, okay, my story might match somebody else's story, and there is a possibility on the other side, for sure, for them. We're also looking for job shadows for our young people, because we're trying to get them employed at the end of the program. We're looking for internships, 3 weeks maximum internships for our young people. And our young people not only are wanting construction, they come in with many varying career goals. I have a young lady right now who wants to be a massage therapist, so we're looking for internships and job shadows for her for massage therapy. Also too, we're looking for future employment opportunities for our young people. As you can, like the mentoring that happened with Webfoot Painting was a perfect example. They were able to be hired on and continue that employment to this day. Also too, of course, as a nonprofit organization, we're always looking for volunteers, and we're also always looking for donations. And there's ways that basically even $5 helps support our work here in Central Oregon across the entire Central Oregon. Example of a donation, we have young people right now that we are sending to Washington, D.C. 2 young people who had the opportunity to go to the Conference of Young Leaders through our Youth Build program. And that cost us $350 for them to go, all expenses paid, for a 1 week to do a conference that has leadership development, and also too, they also get to see all of the sites in Washington, D.C. So it's just, it can range from $5 to, $350. So just had to put that out there for everyone. Do you have questions that I can answer? Yes?
How many people do you have right now in Youth Build?
In Youth Build, currently, well, we are starting a brand new cohort on Monday, and we are starting 18 young people on Monday for that brand new cohort. We bring them in as groups for our AmeriCorps program and our Youth Build program. And then we have 8 active members, so we're going to be jumping up our numbers to about 25. And then bringing on a second cohort in March, another 20 young people. So we'll be potentially running around 40 to 45 young people at one time. That doesn't even count the young people that we're working with who are employed right now, who are in those follow-up services. And we have about, each grant we run through the Department of Labor, and each 2-year grant is about 73 young people that we bring through the program within 2 years.
And this is a program where the young people have decided they want to be involved. It's not something they're being forced into through the courts or their parents. They
Correct.
have to make this decision.
They do, and we've had both where, maybe parents, like I said, my story about Felipe, where the parent was making her child do this, but it ended up in a great way and has success. But then, yes, we have found that if a young person isn't bought into the transition of their life, they're not going to be successful in the program.
So how would you introduce a person into this when they're on the fence? Where they want to be?
Well, in the Youth Build model, we have what we call mental toughness. And it's a 2-week orientation. That's what we're starting on Monday with our cohort. It's a 2-week orientation. It's like a working interview where the young people get to see tidbits of what Youth Build is going to be offering them over the next year. So they can make a choice. Okay, and I've had young people who have walked out the first day and said, that program's not for me. Or I've had young people who, or even staff have the opportunity to say, you're not ready for this program, let's have you try the next cohort. And so it is a 2-week trial period for the Youth Build program. We also do an orientation for our AmeriCorps program, which is a week long too. So, yeah. Other questions?
So one of the things with the jobs, so these are all, Youth Build is mostly contracting type work and stuff. How many people that have kind of graduated through the program are fully employed right now? Do you guys follow up and have those numbers?
We do. Our placement in employment right now is 75% for our last grant, which we've been running for 2 years. 75% placement. We also measure retention, and retention is about 80% right now. We measure retention over 3 quarters. So, yeah. We're really excited about those numbers. It really makes a difference, like those 2 young people who got hired on at Webfoot Painting. Those were our first 2 construction placements because of the downturn in construction, and we're hoping that we're able to develop more and more of those partnerships with construction for our young people to have those construction placements too. But like I said, not all young people are on the construction track. They're learning those skills, which is great for their life, and great for them once they own a home, but not all of them are on the construction track. Most aren't. Yeah. Yes?
Do the young people agree to drug testing throughout the programs?
Yes. Yes, they do. Yes, we do. We have a drug policy in place. Absolutely. And we tell them ahead of time, this is what's going to be happening, and if you don't agree with this drug policy, this program's not for you. And we do lots of, I will tell you, we refer young people to Best Care, to New Priorities Family Services, to Rimrock Trails.
Are you assisting them in getting health insurance and other?
Yes, we have 2 advocates in place for our Youth Build program who basically walk through from beginning to end with our young people in taking care of helping them, not taking care of them, helping them take care of their barriers that might prevent them from completing the program or reaching employment at the end or going to college. And basically our advocates follow them from start to when they finish the program 2 years later through the follow-up services. Yeah. So if you're interested in mentoring or volunteering, this is why Amanda's here. Give her a call. Her contact information is on that form. So we are looking for that. Please spread the word. Oh, one other thing. If you're a mentor, our mentors are becoming AmeriCorps members too. And through your mentoring hours, this is a brand new component for us. Through your mentoring hours, you can earn an AmeriCorps scholarship yourself for over $1,200 for 1 year of 300 hours of that mentoring service. And if you're over 55, you can actually give that scholarship to a grandchild, to your own child. You can gift that scholarship to someone in your family. Or if you're under 55, you can use that to pay student loans. You can use that to go back to school and be able to make that difference also in your community by mentoring these young people who absolutely need a positive role model. So,
In 7 years.
oh, you have 7 years to use that AmeriCorps award or gift that AmeriCorps award to someone in your family. So that's a plus.
All right, well, ladies.